Hey everybody, this is Sandman. Tekken 8 introduced a couple of options that are a little too much when you're on the defensive side. And today's topic is about jailing strings and unavoidable buttons slash situations. I have Leo in front of me as our first example because he has 4-2-4. So if you block a 4-2-4 and you try to do like a down forward one, like a mid check or something to catch him because he's crouching, he can do something like this. He can do a wide standing 4, which can counter. And what you don't know is that he has a follow up from this wide standing 4 that goes into heat. That is particularly strong, and it's even worse because I just found out you can sidewalk it. What? Apparently you can sidewalk that setup, but it is a very precise sidewalk. You need to be buffering it for sure. But that defeats the purpose. Why does 4-2-4 in and of itself jail when it's a high? You should be able to block the first hit and then duck the second hit. Why should you be holding that? Doesn't make sense to me. I've been trying to sidestep this sequence, but I don't know how I recreated it the first time. At least this sequence with Leo has some counterplay in down jab, but still, 4-2-4 being a jailing high is pretty silly. Jun has a similar thing in her 4-2-1+2. Usually you'd see a forward 2 and then you'd be like, oh, I can launch, but this is a follow-up that leads to a heat engager. And this one's kind of worse because it's a mid-mid string that you just have to hold. And you might say this is fair because Jun loses a bit of health if that move gets blocked. But not to me, man. Like, there ought to be counterplay for stuff like this. And that's not even the last example. And you might be surprised, but Shaheen has some shenanigans to him too. Not like the previous examples, but he has it within his charge move. A key button within his game plan. Because you would do down forward ones, you do down fours, his pokes and stuff. And you throw out his charge move every now and then to, continue pressure, get some guaranteed damage if it does land. So if you're blocking Shaheen and then you block like a down forward one and you try to sidewalk right, his charge move can clip you while you're sidewalking, which is really silly. Why is that a thing? And this is present even when he's not in heat. I still get clipped, despite being nowhere near the hitbox of that charge move. Stuff like this shouldn't be in the game. If I choose a defensive option or want to avoid a move, I should be able to avoid it. And the last example I want to talk about is Kuma / Panda's guaranteed situation after a combo. And it looks a little like this. The best thing you can do is to hold back and wake up backwards and also be blocking because every other option against the setup will be launched or you will get hit for guaranteed damage. And guaranteed damage is probably only fair when you mash against someone. Like, if I get something like this, the 4-2-3 is also scaled, but it's kind of fair because, well, you were mashing and I landed the counter hit. I should be rewarded for that. And I implore you to make this setup yourself. One thing though is that forward 1+2, the roll that Kuma does, it needs to be kind of done quickly, but the reward from this kind of execution is very, very high. And if you try to like do another option, like tech roll, like right now, I can show you. You're -6 after blocking that setup, which is insane. And frankly, it shouldn't be in the game. Not after 2 years. Sorry for the raspy voice, but I wanted to add this to the first recording and I got a little sick. Stuff like this makes the game so silly. And if it wasn't a thing, maybe Tekken 8 would be taken more seriously. But what do you guys think? Do your characters have something similar to this? A scenario where it bypasses defensive options needlessly? like Anna and Nina's down forward 1-2 being a similar situation. You can't duck the second high. I like to hear it. And who knows, maybe a part 2 or even more parts could highlight them to the developers and maybe we could get some changes. I don't know. I'm a hopeful person. So, yeah, that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching and check out my other videos and have a good one.